right, we're live. I'm just going to set up the other platform. Pin a little comment here, who I am, how you can reach me. Let me pin that. Great. And let me go live here. And connecting. All right, hi designers. Welcome to today's live event. You'll see I'm trying to look at both cameras, so depending on where you're viewing, it'll be different. We are working on embark.live's platform today, so that's new. We've been doing these live events on Makers Row while we're launching the embark.live, and today we're doing all of the lives on Embark. So keep an eye out on embark.live for some new content and live events. As always, I'm Anna Livermore from V.Mora. I own a company that helps launch fashion designers, and I've been asked to be one of the experts for the embark.live platform, which is a platform that you can go on, and similar to Makers Row, if you don't know what Makers Row is, that's a really great resource because it has a bunch of vendors, manufacturers, companies like mine that you can reach out to. Embark will be a platform where you can get in contact with experts in a certain field. We have a bunch of video content on Embark Live, and then you can just click, schedule a time to talk to me one-on-one, and we can go from there. So today I am talking about working with a business coach, and if it's right for you, or how it could benefit you, or just opening up the conversation of what it could look like if you're looking to hire a coach. Now, I've been coaching designers for a long time. It's really beneficial for me and the designers. I love doing it. So today's conversation is just going to be a little bit about what that looks like and how it can benefit you if it's right for you. So I always put together points. It's the best way for me to get things across. But number one, one of the biggest reasons of working with a coach or a consultant is you have access to their network and their resources. So everyone that I've been working with for the past 12 years, my fabric vendors, trim vendors, factories, everyone that I have an established relationship with, you then have access to. And that's big because for a lot of new designers, it can take years to find the right fabric vendor, the right manufacturer. So working with someone like me, I can just pair you with the right factory that has the minimums that you want, and you can go from there. And having a coach there help with that relationship of how much should the cut and sew price cost? Is it normal that I'm getting charged a cut fee? I found this denim and it's this much per yard. Is that normal? So if you have someone there that knows the industry, that can help you through that, it's extremely beneficial. So with my network, I just put together a list. I have fabric vendors, factories, trim vendors, lawyers, photographers, models. I've worked with everyone from start to finish. Web designers, photographers, everyone that you're going to need to build your company, I then will provide that resource to you. So that's number one for benefits. Number two is business strategy. So I love working with creative people and then being able to find how we can make that profitable. So you're the creative, you've got a great idea, let's create a business strategy that works so that you're able to launch properly and be profitable. And coming up with new ideas, even myself, I worked with a business coach, and I periodically will take an outside perspective of people that I've hired or trusted to say, hey, this is my overall budget. Do you see anything weird in here? Hey, this is what I'm spending on this. Does that sound normal? But having someone to bounce ideas off with and having a business strategist of someone that's been in the industry for a long time is really beneficial, and I love doing it. I can understand the creative mind and know that you guys should be creating, but then there's also being able to reach that creative brain to be like, okay, let's put together a business strategy, doing costing and budgeting. It's really hard to cost your own product and know that you're being profitable. designers tend to undersell themselves. So having someone come in and be like, no, this is absolutely a $400 garment. This is an $80 garment. You need to sell at this price is really beneficial. So I love doing that. Accountability. So if all of these steps too, if you can obviously reach out to me through Embark and hire me. I've got a welcome package of $1,500 a month for anyone that hires through Embark to do a month of coaching. But you can always try and build this on your own. Write down these steps and try and find people that you trust to run through these things with you as well. So accountability. This can even just be a friend. But when I'm working with a designer, I give homework and I say, okay, we've got a week to take care of this. Within the next week, we're gonna get back on the phone and this will have to be completed. And if it's not completed, I spend the time completing it with you or talk to you about like what's going on. Are you overwhelmed? Do you have too much going on? Things like that. But having someone be there for you to keep accountability is number 3. Number 4. If you've watched me at all, you know I'm openly OCD when it comes to checklists, systems, Excel spreadsheets, organization in general. So I take the system and I provide it to the designers, and that's everything from definitions, spec sheet definitions, industry term guides, everything you're ever going to need to know. I will talk you through it, but I will also provide you with a template or a handout. So that's super beneficial. Number 5 is just the overall support. As a business owner, even myself, it feels like the people, having other entrepreneurs around, having other people that inspire me, that keep me going, that, you can feel lonely, especially if you don't have any employees and you're working from home. Just knowing that there are other people out there to be there for you when something comes up, because it's, you might have a partner or a best friend, but if something comes up in business, having someone that gets business, be that person that you call, is really helpful for anyone in business. So those are the 5 points that I have about working with a coach. So I'll run through them again and then we can take some questions. Number 1 is resource and network. Number 2 is business strategy, costing, budgeting. Number 3 is accountability. Number 4 is systems and checklists. Number 5 is just general support. Now, I do this one-on-one with clients, but I also am putting together a virtual coaching program where it's videos of me running you through the templates and the checklists and then providing you with those templates and checklists. So it's if $1,500 is too much for you, I understand that. You're a new business, so I tried to come up with a program that would be more accessible to more designers. So if you're interested in that, also reach out to me and Embark and we can send you what that looks like. But I just wanted to open it up right now for anyone that has any questions on building a business, or if you are feeling alone, or if you don't know where to go for answers. But just to open it up, support you guys as if this was a coaching session, but all of you guys are on the call, so obviously you'll have to share some information that hopefully you'll be okay with. But everyone on the call is also a business owner, so I'm sure they would understand. So that being said, is anyone brave enough to ask some questions? Let's see. No questions. Well, we've only got low audience on the Embark Live. It's a new platform, so so that's a good thing because there's not a whole lot of people on the call. So if you have any questions, now's your time. No? All right. So as always, if you guys are wanting to get in contact with me, you can go to download embark.live, and it's an app on your phone. You can talk to a bunch of experts in a bunch of different fields. So I'm Anna Livermore, and I have it here. It's www.embark.live/Anna Livermore. So thank you so much, and I hope that even if you're not at a position where you can hire a coach, you'll take those 5 steps here and be able to apply that with a buddy. Do you charge an hourly rate? Yes, I do. And there's a special hourly rate on that Embark Live at $165 an hour. If you were to come outside of it, it's more than that. But there's an intro rate on Embark Live. You can go and you can book. You can just press book now, and then it gives you the schedule. And if you could send me, what you want to get out of the call. I'd like to make sure that you walk away with deliverables and that everything is super useful. So yes, I do charge an hourly rate as well. Anyone else have any other questions? No? All right, well, like I said, we're gonna be trying this on the Embark Live Instagram. So keep an eye out, like and share. It will be posted on the Embark. We also ran this through a streaming platform. So what do you help with? I can help with business strategy and bigger picture. And then I have staff that are production managers and product developers. So they do tech packs, sourcing of goods, patterns, samples, production management. What are your areas of expertise? So my expertise is specifically in building a sewn product business. When it comes to budgeting out how much you have, where you need to spend it, how to get the best return. The types of products I've worked in is anything that's sewn. I've been doing this for 12 years, so we've done bags, we've done dog clothes, we've done baby clothes, women's wear, men's wear. I personally love streetwear. It's my favorite to work in, but as far as areas of expertise, I feel like just putting together an overall strategy of like how you're gonna get this done and be as successful as possible and get a return on your money. And that can be in any product as long. And I've actually worked with jewelry and products as well that aren't sewn in doing one-on-one coaching. So that is that question. But if you wanted to talk, I also do a complimentary 20-minute strategy session. So if you are looking to just jump on the phone and ask more questions one-on-one, I can do that as well. I always feel so awkward. Either I stare at this or that one, and I'm not looking at both at the same time. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming up. We got another question. That's awesome. What would you say you recommend that we work on first if we book a session? This is what I ask. What keeps you up at night? What keeps you up at night document. If you can get that together of like, I don't know how I'm gonna source fabric. I don't know how I'm gonna do factory. I don't know how I'm gonna be a business owner. I don't know, whatever keeps you up at night, do like a dump onto one document. And if you can send that to me prior to an hour of us working together, I will try and get through as much as humanly possible on that hour. I talk really fast and we can get through a lot. So that would be what I would work on, because it doesn't matter what stage you're at, you've got questions, right? So no matter where you're at, what you're working on, I like to help and meet you where is most useful. So working on the what keeps you up at night document, I love that document, because if I can get through like all of those things within the first 30 minutes of our call and then you sleep that night, that's amazing. That's my goal. You guys should be sleeping and rested and super creative and inspired. Or what if my business is completely new? What should I be focusing on? So if your business is completely new, the first, and maybe I'll do a live event around what are the first things you should do as a new a new designer. That's a really great idea. Thank you. But it should be, you should work on a mood board so you know what styles you're doing. Work on a budget so you know how much money you have, and work on a timeline. Those are the 3 most important things, and then you can start sketching. But you've got to know your budget before you can know how many styles you can do, and you've got to know your timeline of what season you're doing. So timeline and budget, and then creating like an overall mood board for you as a designer. Definitely agree. If my business is completely new, I got that one. Does anyone else have any questions? Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll do maybe I'll do the first 5 things a new designer should focus on before you start sketching, because I get that question a lot, and I know budget isn't the most fun, but I promise it's the most empowering to know how much money you have. If it's $100, okay, what are you going to do with the $100? If it's $1 million, you still need to know what you're going to do with that money. So knowing what you're going to do with the money that you do have and how much you can spend in timeline. And then you can start designing because you know how many styles you can afford to do, and you can start sourcing fabric because you know what season you're going to do. That sounds good. Is there anything else I would have to prep before the first consultation? Honestly, like I said, if you just do your what keeps you up at night, I can take the lead from there and make sure that you walk away feeling 100% confident in what you didn't know before. So I'd love to just like conquer that and get that out of the way. So if you just have the what keeps you up at night, or you know what questions you have, if you're brand new and you don't know where to start, we can talk about more concrete places for you to start. If you're doing menswear, if you're doing women's wear, if you're doing children's wear, what would you recommend for making a new product but don't know where to start? Do you know what you're making? If you know what you're making, then you should start with this. Again, always budget and timeline, but creating a sketch and then sourcing the goods. So working on finding the fabrics of what you're going to be producing in is the very first step. You'll also want to do, I'd recommend doing some branding and some work into competition. Hair accessories. Yeah, so do some work into competition, know what's out there, know what price point you're trying to hit, and then look at, trying to start sourcing the goods to make those hair accessories and sketches. But that goes without saying. I'm sure that's like the first thing designers always want to do. They have 30, 40, 50 sketches of designs. So then we've got to work at like making it a practicality of how much can you afford to do. How can I find a reliable garment manufacturer? I'm in Atlanta and I need help. LOL. Unfortunately, I don't know any factories in Atlanta, but like I said, working with a coach or someone that has experience, I would pair you with a factory. Makers Row has a ton of factories on their platform, so being able to go through and interview those factories, you want to call them up and ask them if they are familiar with working with your specific type of product, and if they're able to show you that work. You'll need, for them to quote anything, you'll need a spec sheet and swatches. Factories don't normally do patterns, so if you're looking for a pattern maker, that's first, the pattern and the sample, and then you bring that to a factory. So if you're looking for a pattern maker, again, Makers Row, but V.Mora does patterns. We can get your patterns and samples together as well. Okay. Any more questions? This has been really fun. Anything at all? No? I'll wait another minute. It is hot here in New York. It's like 90, what is it, 98?
Yeah, it's okay.
Really hot. What is your opinion about outsourcing to Mexico versus China? So, Makers Row has a lot of great resources domestically. Mexico versus China, the delivery times will be different. It depends on who you're working with in China, but that can, depending if it's shipping on air or on boat, it can take quite a few weeks, so you wouldn't have to do that with Mexico. Mexico's a little bit more accessible for flying as well, so you can always fly there and meet your factory in Mexico, and then it's easier to get things in from Mexico. Well, it used to be, I'm not sure what the regulations are now, but with NAFTA, it was easier to get goods in from Mexico than it would be from China. I don't know if that's true anymore, but it will not take as long. Mexico and China produce very different products. So you'll want to, I don't know what, did you tell me what you're making? I would have to see what you're making to give you like a referral on what country would be better, but the minimums are a little bit lower too in Mexico. So, but domestic is great. I've been in business 10 plus years and I'm looking to grow and become more profitable. Do you consult for a more mature business as well? 100%. So if you have been in the industry for 10 years and you're looking for a consultant to bring you, just look at where are you spending your money, where have you been most profitable, and put together a specific plan for you that's going to improve profits, then yes, absolutely. I like to have a curriculum of like what we're going to cover and what would be most beneficial for you to get out of a month of coaching together. But we build that plan together. What are we covering? What do you want to walk away with? What do you want solutions for? And then we stay on task within that month to make sure we focus in on all of that. But I love working with companies that aren't video paused. Sorry about that. So yes, I love working with companies that aren't startups, and I can give you some referrals and people that I've worked with that were 3-5+ years into having their own company. Yes, so you can reach out to me via the embark.live app. Clothing, yeah, so if you're doing clothing, Mexico and China can both do clothing. They just do different types of products. Yeah. Do you advise for manufacturing domestic versus overseas? So most of our designers work domestically because the minimums are lower. You'll get to meet your factory, and it's a good place to start for new designers because you don't have to meet that 2,000 piece minimum. And even if you have the funding to be able to produce 2,000 piece minimum and do it offshore, I would recommend working domestically, testing the market before biting off too much, before biting off more than you can chew. So if you're sitting on 2,000 pieces, it can be a little bit more difficult to sell that than to do a smaller run. And when you sell out and you have a smaller run, that's more exciting. So working domestically to start is a good strategic plan. But like I said, everyone has their own plan and what's gonna work for you, and I can help build that for you. But there's pluses and minuses to both. Yeah, so we do both, but most of them do domestic. You're welcome. Okay, anyone have any more questions? I feel like every time I say that, I just wait a little bit, and then you guys do, so. Okay, maybe not. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching, and keep an eye on the Embark Live Instagram and the Makers Row Instagram. Check out the Embark Live app. Even if you're not going to hire anyone, I've got about 10 videos on there that would have you. Sorry, I keep getting questions. I've got about 10 videos on there that has free content and talks about size charts and what's a marker, and it's informative, as well as all the other experts have videos on there as well. So it's a good place to go for information. I just got a question. Have you worked with companies outside of America or international markets? Absolutely. Luckily, with technology, we're able to connect and work with companies. I've worked with one of my clients is in Amsterdam right now. But yes, we've worked with companies in Portugal and Spain and London, Australia. Australia was tough, time zones. That's the only thing that makes it challenging is the time zones. But yes, we have worked internationally. All right, thank you. I will watch for you to connect with us through Embark Live. It's a really great platform. We're excited to be a part of it. So, okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. Keep an eye out. Makers Row, embark.live, they've been so great with providing you guys with content and places to go and a community, so definitely take advantage of that. I'm Anna Livermore from V.Mora, and I will be back here next Monday at 3 o'clock. Oh, and then I'm also doing a paid event where you can learn how to do costing for your garment. So one of those templates that I've talked about through like making everything a system, you guys will get the template for the costing beforehand, and then I'll run you through, I'll screen share, and I think I'll be able to screen share and run you through the template together so that you'll be able to cost your product. There's only seats for 5 people, I believe, so if you're interested in that, just keep an eye out. It will sell out fast. It's $95. That will be next Monday at 4. Yeah, so there you have it. Thank you guys so much. And this will be recorded and on the Instagram Live as well as the Facebook. So it was good to have you guys. Hopefully you're all staying cool. I don't know how to end this. Still trying to end it.